Nadu in London. Am I pronouncing Nadu right?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, okay.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool, great. First time calling. I've heard the show a lot of times. I think it's great. So actually, I had a kind of a question for discussion, really, which came about because I was listening to this podcast called The Naked Scientist, which is a BBC radio podcast. And in it, one of the hosts was describing an incident where he had a placebo effect. So he actually injected a saline solution into a patient and told him that it was a painkiller. And the patient exhibited basically all symptoms of having received the actual painkiller.
Yeah.
To the extent that when, yeah. So I got to thinking whether the analogy could be extended to religion to some extent. Now, this was a case of somebody who actually had a reasonable basis to believe something, and just having that belief alone led his brain to do some actual physiological stuff within his body.
Okay.
Now, I'm not too sure whether you would agree with me that I actually don't think most people who say they do believe in God or they believe in religion, I don't think any of them actually really honestly do have that kind of belief.
Well, I mean, just like the guy before you who was saying...
Let me kind of put it this way.
Yeah.
We could definitely say that none of them have a reasonable basis to believe something.
Okay, I agree with that.
So what I wanted to, so what I wanted to ask is if you had any examples of any practice, religion, or faith system where people had a reasonable basis to believe something, though it was false, maybe an elaborate kind of a setup where...
I don't know what kind of reasonable basis can lead you to a false belief, really. I mean, if you are led to believe something that is false, then there must be a fault in your reasoning somewhere.
Yeah.
So let's say you have an isolated kind of a society where people are kind of fooled into believing some kind of a God system.
Well, okay, given the limited information people have, they could believe something incorrect without having further information to disprove it.
Do you think in that situation you'd see something like a placebo effect, something more tangible?
I'm pretty sure that there are actual studies that show that people who believe, for instance, that everything happens for a reason, just for example, recover faster. There are placebo effects that are associated with religious beliefs.
Well, and also I would say that there are some activities associated with religion, prayer, for example, that may give people a greater sense of control over a situation, because if you have a belief that you're invoking some deity that has the power to make you feel better or something like that, then you may actually feel better if you pray. And
but then somehow the various prayer studies in the realm of actually kind of people who are sick, etc., they always seem to fail. So if there's a real placebo effect, shouldn't we kind of see it there?
I'm sorry, that was kind of garbled. I didn't really hear what you said.
I know that people have done studies where prayer has been seen to, they've investigated whether prayer actually helps in terms of...
Actually the prayer doesn't help.
Yeah, I mean, at best, any effect that prayer might have can come from people believing that they're going to get better. But I think in some of the studies, at least, the people who knew they were being prayed for actually got worse.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it kind of depends on the situation.
Yeah, but the thing I was specifically talking about is there's actually a non-religious example that you can use to demonstrate that if people feel like they have more control over a situation, particularly when it comes to pain, they may experience less pain. And the example is, you've seen the little demand pumps that people who are being given pain medication sometimes have, where you push a button and you get a small dose of pain medication. What they find is that people actually use less pain medication when they control it like that, because they know they can control it. So they actually use less than if you had to call a nurse who came in and gave them a pain shot, because they know they can instantly control the amount of pain medication they get. So they actually use less pain medication. Okay, and it may be that they actually feel less pain because their anxiety level is lower. They know they have control over this. And so that's what I'm saying, is that there may be some activities associated with religion that act in the same way, that give people a greater sense of control over something because they feel like they are directly invoking their deity who will help them. And in fact, no help is forthcoming, but if they feel better, well, that's basically what a placebo does. Right?
Cool. Yeah, I mean, that I think answers my question. It's just that when I was thinking about this, though I'm not a theist of any sort, I kind of came to have an opinion that maybe there is something in terms of having belief, as in real belief, that could really impact people in a tangible, not just in a kind of a make them feel better, but in an actual some physical changes in the body or something like that.
Right. Well, the placebo effect is definitely real and it's well documented, and so I want to make sure everybody's clear about that. But the main issue of the placebo is that through whatever means, whether it's because you believe you're getting super strong medicine or you believe a magic man is taking your pain away, it's the sincere belief that things are going to get better for you that improves things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thanks for your time and great show.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for calling.